So for the last 3.5 years, I've modified this 1.2 Vauxhall Corsa D 2009 Active to become a VXR replica. A lot of people loved this idea, but of course, a lot of people hated it. But to me, I love doing it, but it wasn't meant to be the Corsa that was going to be the car that got modded. It was all a mistake. So originally I did buy the Corsa, yes, but what was actually meant to be the car I first started driving in was a BMW. The Corsa was basically a car to learn to drive in before I actually passed my test. And once I passed my test, I would have been driving a BMW 116. So all was going to plan until the day I passed and I went to go insure the BMW, and then I got a phone call from the insurance company and they said this: yeah, it's going to cost you $8,769 to insure this BMW, and that's without a black box. With a black box you're looking at $3,480, and you can't go out past 11 p.m. till 6 a.m. in the morning, and you can't stay away from the car's home location for more than one night, and if you do, you will instantly be terminated and you will not be insured with us anymore, and you'll lose the policy. And of course, like a lot of other people would as well, I wasn't very happy with that. So the Corsa I was going to sell at the time, the one that's been modified, ended up being the car I decided to go with, but I wasn't driving around in a basic boring Corsa. So it hit me, and well, this happened. And now, as you can see, this is the Vauxhall Corsa D 2009, the exact same car that you've just seen in the photos. For all of you that stuck around, you will know how much of a journey it's been through. Now it's finally complete. After all these years, I'm so happy with the way it's turned out. A lot of people I showed pictures to of before and afters can't believe it's actually the same car. So I think I've done pretty well, to say the least. So here is a full mod list on everything I've done the last 3.5 years to this car. So here is the full mod list of what I've done on this Vauxhall Corsa 2009 Active. Let's go over all the bits I've done. There is so much that we have done on this car. It is insane. It's probably the most expensive Corsa around where I live. But let's go over everything. Let's start off from the outside and then we'll make our way inside. So let's get into it. So I decided to start off from the inside first because I thought as I'm in the car it'd be easier. So the first mod, which is a little one, is this brushed chrome air vent. And then I did the same here with this one, which is a brushed chrome, which is a door panel trim. These used to be piano black. The center console itself used to be gold, but then I replaced it with piano black ones. And as you can see, I've got a piano black auto pumpkin stereo, which is this one here. This has been a godsend. You can watch YouTube, Netflix, and listen to the radio and plenty of other things, if you know what I mean. With this auto pumpkin, it is just an Android one. It says it's Apple as well, but you have to buy an SD card for that, or a SIM card. I can't remember what it's called. It's an SD card. And then the glove box that obviously breaks, but you have this adapter, which is actually tucked into the top. But these wires go down, and obviously you have your iPhone charger and it comes round to here. You just plug that into your phone and then you have Apple CarPlay. That was £65 alone just for the adapter, but obviously it's worth it when you've got Apple CarPlay. We painted the interior, which is these black trims from the front, and then obviously the roof. And as well, we can't forget about the Starlight roof I installed. That was probably one of the major installs I've done on this car. Definitely the hardest one, that's for sure. You can see we've got the VXR Recaro seats, back and even the front ones. Normally only a lot of people get the fronts, but I decided to go all out and get the front ones as well. Also got the upgraded version of this armrest. You can open it up at the back and put a drink in, and you can also open it up even further down, which is where you put your coins. You have one level of where you can put your phone and other stuff, and then another level here which is a bit deeper. And then the other mods that I haven't actually installed, and I never will now, the other owner could if he wants to, is a VXR leather cover, which has grey stitching and blue leathers, because I've had like a blue theme in here. This as well, that would be changed as well. I'm not sure the handbrake one says VXR. No, it doesn't. It's only the front gear stick one. I think it would look too much anyway if they both said it, but that's what it looked like. And then if you've got your arm on it and it's not comfortable like that, you flick this switch and it comes down like that, so it goes out further. And all you do to take it out is literally just lift it up, and you can move it frontwards and back, and you can put USBs in there, 3 at the front, and I think 4 at the back as well, which you can see there. The seat belts are standard as any other Corsa, but I did get these Vauxhall leather carbon covers, which are really nice. It gives off that aesthetic look, and it gives the car a bit more to it, as you know it's a Corsa. I upgraded this here, which is just the light switch and stuff like that. That used to be just blank. It used to be like a black square. I don't think I actually put that on record, but I did change that. They're the same handle still. They're not brushed chrome, unfortunately. You can't actually get brushed chrome ones, and brushed chrome is really hard to get. Handbrake is standard. I was getting a gear knob, which was a VXR one, like a full system. It never came. I got scammed on that, basically. Also these that everyone thought would stick to the roof in summer, but it didn't, which was good. Same with that one. Mirror's still there. And then mine's just the basic interior light. And of course, the thing that makes the car look even nicer is the VXR steering wheel. This honestly gives it such a better look from the inside. And it's a grey stitch interior as well. When I actually turn the car on, you'll see I've got LEDs, which are in the front and in the back as well. Last, for the inside, is just these floor mats, which are black. Not the originals, but they do have a grey outline with grey stitching, which I prefer. So really, I went for a blue and grey theme inside, more on to grey. This did light up blue. When you turn the headlights on, you can see it goes blue. Moving on to the outside. So just before we really get outside, you can see these door lock catch cover protectors, and they're in carbon fibre. And not a lot of people notice this, but it is just a subtle little look, and it does make that underneath look a lot nicer than what it does, and they just stick on. This is what it looks like. So moving on finally to the outside, you can see here these used to actually be black. For anyone that didn't know, only the OGs will remember, but this is now color coded to the car. Just a basic little mod, but it definitely makes it stand out a lot nicer, which you can definitely tell it looks better than what it would in black, I think, personally. We have the VXR wing mirrors. These honestly make it look so much better, a bit like a Lamborghini Gallardo, if you know what I mean. And then we have the VXR indicator surrounds. I put a Nürburgring edition sticker on there just to give it a better look, so it's just blank, and obviously it is a VXR replica. These are sequential indicators. They're like sweeping ones, so when you turn the indicators on, they sweep just like that. And they are blacked out tinted ones, because I think it looks better tinted rather than white. With the alloys, these are, I never actually told anyone what they was at the time because no one knew. They are actually called BK Racing alloys. I replaced the BK alloy center cap with this Vauxhall one, and then you can see here a little subtle one is a VXR dust cap. A lot of the original people that watched from the beginning will remember the gloss red calipers that we painted. Now you know what the wheels are. For anyone wondering, they are BK Racing alloys. I'll put the link in the description. Now on the front, we have the upgraded FK Automotive headlights. Now these are actually really hard to get, and I found out now. But I got them, which was lucky, and I actually got sponsored for that. That was one of my first sponsors, which was nice, and it definitely makes the car look a lot better with the blacked out inside of that headlight. You've got the fog lights, which I never got to install the lights for all the wires. The thing that really set this car off was, of course, the VXR front bumper. Now I loved this when I put it on. It was definitely one of the best mods. And then of course it wouldn't be right if I didn't put a VXR bumper on the back. It honestly kicks off the Corsa. For a while I couldn't actually put this bumper on just because of this user here. I got scammed 3 times trying to get one of these, but then I finally got one in the end. It cost me £150 second hand, but I did get it all back to scratch. Bit has flaked off here. That's easily repairable. Probably one of my favourite mods on this car, well, after the Starlight roof, because that was a headache, was this fast lane styling custom exhaust system. Now this exhaust system was the hardest thing to get because everyone said it wasn't possible. I went to so many places in South Devon and not one of them could help me out with it. So I had to drive all the way to London just to get this exhaust system done, but it was so worth it. And that is the work they've done under there, and it goes straight down as well with one little silencer on, which takes out 10% of the sound, but it sounds perfect the way it is. And of course it is a dual exit twin pipe, and it has Akrapovic outlets on as well, which have carbon covers over this nice purple and blue oil slick colour, and it just sounds amazing. The original plates are back on now. Don't really like it, but I have got them in 4D, so they match my old C19 ones. It's got the VXR plate lights as well, which were £18. I'll put all the links in the description to everything I can. We've got the BEM logo with a crown. Hopefully it never gets taken off, but I don't blame them if they do, because obviously I won't be repping the car anymore. It's got the VXR spoiler on it, you can see there, the shark fin that everyone asked about, and the DNA Corsa D 2009 lights. Now this really does set it off in the night. I'll turn them on for you now, because honestly they just look sick. It gives the Corsa a much more modern look, which you can see there. And right now it's gleaming, so I really don't want this car to go, but obviously it is complete. Plate lights are really good, they're LED ones, and they've lasted me 3 years nearly. And you can't quite see it because it's dark, but that is what the front looked like as well. It's just like a line going through. Sides and the rear were tinted by Pro Tint. Same with the front, that's chameleon tinted in the legal tint, so it's not as vibrant as a legal tint would look. But it's like a blue and purple mixed with a bit of green. You can see the blue and green a lot more when you can purple. Purple comes out when it's more like frozen in winter. This VXR badge on the back actually survived much better than the front one, and I did debadge it, if you can really call that a mod, but that is another thing I did. I never got rid of the rear wiper. I could have in the end, because obviously I did get the sticker on, and I've never used it since because I can't, because it will just wipe the sticker off. I think it looks better with it, to be honest, on mine. I don't know why, it just suits it. The amount of times I had to replace this was crazy. About 4 times these packed in, so I had to keep getting them resprayed, and in the end I just kept taking the cap off just to put onto the new one, because they come in like a satin blue. I did used to have high-speed wind deflectors, but I did eventually upgrade to Team Hecko because these worked a lot nicer. The high-speed ones, when I used to put my window up, they always used to come back down for some reason, and then one night it came back down, and then my car was wet through because of them, so I did upgrade to the Team Hecko ones because people recommended them. And I did install a full Maxton kit. This was my favourite part of doing the car. So you have spoiler extension, which goes on top of the VXR spoiler, spats, which goes on the back. They do look small and they are expensive, but it definitely gives off a nice look to the car. Same with the roof spoiler extension. And then the sides, and I did forget to mention as well, this is an OEM VXR/SXI side skirt, which wasn't on the car either. And then the best part of the Maxton kit is this front splitter here, which just makes it look so mean. I love it. But yeah, that is just so nice. When the chameleon tint was done, it did have this sun strip installed. Unfortunately, when it was icy one day, I was trying to get the ice off and I accidentally hit it, and it took 2 little chunks out, but that can be replaced so easily. Overall, that is 2009 Corsa D 1.2 as well, by the way, in a VXR replica. What do you guys think? There will be for sure still a lot of people hating on this because it's a replica and it's got the VXR badges on. What's the point in calling it a rep if you're not going to put the badges on? But it's everyone's personal opinion, so I like it how it is. A lot of people do as well, but obviously there is going to be people that don't like it, but it's the way you do your car that matters. Don't go off everyone else's opinion, do what you want to do. Now if I go back to the inside quick, the total mileage as well, for any of you wondering, I got it at about 45k, is now on 67,715. And yes, I did get the timing chain done and a full engine service and other bits like that. It's had loads done, but obviously I never filmed that because I didn't do it. But that is the total mileage when I'm leaving it off. And now I'm going to show you under the bonnet. There's nothing special under there. We did do a mod under there or two. So of course the first one, which is obvious, is this ram air filter here. I did put the original Corsa like pipe back on because it stands out a bit more, whereas the Ram Air one didn't. It just aimed right down, but this one you can actually get it to aim up a bit higher, so it gets more cold air into it. Does need an actual heat shield on there, but I never got around to doing it. A new water expansion tank, which doesn't look so new anymore. It just gets so dirty in the Corsas. That is also new. The battery, I never filmed that. It's the new one. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I never done anything special. I never done anything like a remap on this Corsa, because it is only a 1.2. I was going to do a VXR engine in this, but I'd have to change literally pretty much everything to support the car, and it would have cost too much to do, so I never done that. And that was my building journey, and yours, for whoever stuck around this whole time on the Vauxhall Corsa, from a basic active to a VXR replica. And that is the finished build. I was going to put the vents in the bonnet, but I thought it looked a bit too much, so I never installed them. Back to the original OG plates as well. That is it. It's now going to be someone else's as of today. Still as well has this from the very beginning, if you lot remember. This is dust cap remover. It doesn't get mine off anymore because they are, like I showed earlier, the VXR ones. I also nearly forgot to mention as well, my indicators are chrome. They are not orange ones because I think the orange reflects too much on the inserts of the chrome and it just looks horrible. So I put chrome indicators on just so it gives it a much more subtle look, which a lot of you will agree with. Straight on the back, the side. And dead on the front. This car has been absolutely everywhere. It's been a fun experience bringing you guys along with me as well. And this Vauxhall Corsa has definitely taught me a lot about cars, basics of how to do things on the cars, because before I had no knowledge. So this course has really brought me up on how to actually do stuff on a car. This was my very first car as well. I hope you guys enjoyed watching these videos I've made on the Corsa as much as I've loved filming them for you all. For the people wondering of how much I sold this Corsa for, it just sold for just under £3,000, which isn't too bad. Well, I don't think so anyway, but let me know what you lot think. Should it have been more or should it have been less? I don't really know, but that's what it sold for. And I do hope all of you guys that have been there from the very first day and even from now onwards, I hope you do all stay and watch the new videos coming out in the future of modifying newer cars. Unfortunately for the Corsa, it is complete for me. There is nothing more I want to do to this. Obviously there is little bits you can do, but for me it is done and it has been a really good first car. A VXR replica isn't too bad for a person that was only 16 years old and just making it to 17. So again, thanks for watching this video and I'll see you all in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one if you stick around.